Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Edges and 30K Media. In this episode today, we're going to be installing a Tanabe Front Tower Bar or Strut Bar onto my 2018 Honda Civic EXL hatchback. Those of you guys out there that have a 10th Gen Civic, it has a McPherson strut set up in the front. With that being said, having this bar on the car will help with your driving experience. You'll experience less body roll and your car will feel more planted through the corners. So let's go ahead and continue with the installation. It's super easy, super simple. Just 3 bolts in the front tower and then 3 bolts in the left strut tower. Take those off, put this on, and then we're gonna just align it up and then bolt everything back down and then take it for a test drive. So that being said, let's get started on the install, and hope you guys enjoyed the video, and please like, comment, and subscribe for any questions down below. Yeah, let's get to it. So some of the tools you're going to need is a 14mm socket, and make sure you have an adapter with that, followed by a torque wrench. Make sure you have all the bolts torqued down to the proper torque specs, and then vice grips just to make sure everything holds into place when you're bolting it down. So we're going to start with the front right tower. Just loosen up the 3 tower bolts. Fairly easy. Make sure you just break them loose. If they're on too tight, use a breaker bar, but for this case I just used a socket and just broke them loose. And then you're going to go over to the other side and just do the same thing on the left tower. Just remove and break loose all of the 3 bolts. Make sure they're free to, you can move them out by hand if you need to. And I just loosened them enough so I can just take them all off by hand. Fairly easy. It takes about probably 5 minutes to do. And do the same thing for the left side. Remove the bolts and then remove the bracket from the left strut tower. And go ahead and grab the new Tanabe plates that come with the strut bar in the box, and just put them on with the new bolts that they provided. Go ahead and just bolt that down to spec. You can tighten everything by hand and then use a torque wrench to tighten everything down. And then go again over to the right side and do the same thing. Tighten everything up by hand, and then you're going to use a torque wrench to go ahead and tighten everything down. In this case, I used a socket to make sure everything was tight, and then I went ahead and tighten everything down with a torque wrench. You guys didn't see in this video, but I went back and double checked everything, make sure it was torqued to spec. And then for this part, you're gonna go ahead and mount the strut bar. Go ahead and mount it into the brackets. Don't tighten everything really tight first, just kind of do it by hand. Then once everything is in there, you have everything set and cleared, then go ahead and make sure everything is bolted down with a socket. Something to keep in mind is that when you're doing this last part, make sure it's not hitting the brake master cylinder, make sure it's not touching any wires, so you want to check for clearance right here and make sure you're all good to go. Last but not least, you're going to grab a 17mm wrench and then go ahead and tighten everything down by hand. Make sure it's tight and snug, not overly tight, but just make sure it's tight enough. Do the same thing for the other side, the left side, and tighten everything down with the 17mm wrench. And kind of wheel it by hand, make sure everything's stable. It shouldn't have too much flex, it should be stable and like as I'm doing here in this video. And now we have the final product, which looks like that once it's installed. Now I took the car out for a spin afterwards and I felt a major difference. No body roll. It was minimized, and also the car felt a little bit more planted and stable at corners. So this install is fairly simple. Hopefully it helped you guys, and if you guys have any questions or comments, please like, comment, and subscribe below, and let me know. Thanks.